Okay, we have done the basic principle of the synchronous generator and also the synchronous motor, where we know that this motor, this generator, or this machine is a doubly sided machine where we have the stator winding and also we have the rotor winding. That means we have double winding there. And we inject both. We inject both. We have AC current in the stator winding and we got DC current in the rotor winding. Okay, so we inject DC current for the purpose to generate the flux in the machine. So when the machine rotate by the prime mover, okay, so that means that we can make the flux rotate with the rotating magnetic field in the rotor side. So next one we go to the we're going to find the equivalent circuit for the synchronous machine. It's a very important topic. Also, you need to focus. We're going to see how we can work out the equivalent circuit. And then we go to based on equivalent circuit, we can have the phasor diagram of the synchronous machine and synchronous motor lah, because the machine can be synchronous generator and also synchronous motor. So everything we have the three phase synchronous machine, but we will look for the per phase equivalent circuit. We got three phase, but basically when we derive this, the equivalent circuit is based on per phase. Okay. So before we do further, everything we consider at steady state, not in transient. We do our analysis based on steady state condition, where we assume the rotor rotates at constant speed. This is the first assumption we do. Rotor rotates at constant speed. The second thing we say that the steady state voltage and current appears in the stator and rotor. We have steady state current and voltage in the stator and rotor part. Okay, and the transient will be not considered in this analysis. In order to find the per phase or per phase equivalent circuit, we just focus on the steady state only, not on the transient part. Okay, we know that when we inject the DC current in the rotor of the synchronous machine, it will produce the sinusoidal distributed flux. So DC machine will produce the sinusoidal distributed flux in the rotor side. Okay, and when the rotor rotates, the flux will rotate also. So this flux in the rotor will rotate. So this flux we call it the flux F. Flux F represent the flux of the flux due to the DC current on the rotor side. Alright. So when the flux cut rotate by the prime mover with the speed of synchronized, okay. So this flux F will cut the stator conductor and EMF we will produce in the stator conductor in the stator circuit lah. You know this Faraday law. When flux cut the conductor, it generate EMF. So flux F generate EMF at the stator circuit. Okay, so EMF produced is known as excitation voltage lah, EF. So flux F generate EF on the stator side. EF is known as excitation voltage. Very important name, excitation voltage. Because we have voltage on the stator now, then we have stator current IF, IA. IF generate IA in the stator part. So IA will flow in the stator conductor. Okay, we flow. So we got the current, we got the flux. This Ampere's law lah, Ampere's law. When we have current, we got flux. So IA produce flux A. Okay, the flux in the stator, flux A, can be divided to two main flux. The first flux, we call it the flux that does not link to the rotor circuit. So this one, we call it the leakage flux or flux AL. Okay, leakage flux, which is not linked to the rotor side. The other flux is linked to the rotor circuit. So this flux, we call it the armature reaction flux or flux AR. Okay, so flux A from IA generate two flux, flux armature reaction and also flux A leakage. Leakage flux, call it or flux AL. In this flux A armature reaction. Okay. Hopefully you can still follow this lecture. Okay, flux armature AR just now. Flux AR just now. Okay. The flux AR, the flux that what is flux AR? You can remember that the flux that links with the rotor circuit. We have rotor circuit, we got the stator circuit. The flux that link with rotor circuit, we call it armature reaction flux. So flux AR here, basically induce voltage AR in the stator circuit. Okay, the flux produce EAR in the stator circuit. Okay. And then flux EAR in the stator will combine with the flux F from the rotor side. Okay. Producing the resultant flux R. So flux basically is flux armature reaction plus flux F which come from the rotor field current. This resultant flux that appears in the machine now is come from the IF, which generate with create flux F, and also IA we create the armature reaction flux. Okay, so we can write this in terms of voltage. So flux R is represented by the ER, which is resultant voltage, plus ER represented by ER, armature reaction voltage at the stator, and flux F generate excitation voltage in the stator. Okay, just straightforward only. So flux become E, flux ER become flux ER, and flux F become EF. Okay, now we're going to draw the phasor diagram to represent all this. So all this statement we can show by the phasor diagram. Okay. Okay. This excitation voltage just now generated by the flux R. The relationship between flux and E is always like that lah. We know that the flux always leading E by 90 degree. So the red color represent flux F from IF, and this EF generated by this flux. The first one. Okay, and this armature current. When we got EF, we got IF drawn in the stator circuit. We know that IA generate flux ER. Okay, IA generate flux ER, and flux ER will generate the EAR, which is voltage in the stator part, which is lagging. 1 minute. Okay, this is ER. ER dengan flux is lagging. E lag flux by 90 degree lah, like that. Understand? Right. So I repeat again. So start from here. Okay. EF is we just take as reference. EF excitation voltage, and flux is a flux generate in the rotor side. Okay, 90 degree leading EF. And then when the generator have EF, it will create current provided the generator is connected to load lah. IA will flow. Armature current have their own flux ER. And flux ER generate voltage ER here, leading by 90 degree. Right. So if we add flux F flux R just now, we add flux F plus flux ER just now, then we got resultant flux. You just write vector only. So this one plus flux ER that give the resultant flux. Flux R lah. Flux R represent the resultant flux in the machine now. Okay, so EF just now formula. EF plus ER, EF here, this EF plus EAR here, vector, it give you the resultant voltage. So just like that. This you know this EAR, you just add here lah, the vector. So EF plus EAR here, dot there, give the resultant voltage in the machine. So you must know that the difference between them. F stand for the excitation voltage. A stand for the armature current. ER stand for armature reaction. Okay. R stand for the resultant flux. And ER stand for the voltage due to the armature reaction. Okay. And ER is resultant voltage due to the combination of EF plus EAR. Okay, this is the first thing that you need to know about the first per phase in the per phase equivalent circuit in the synchronous machine. Alright. Why we draw IA like that? Because we assume IA lagging EF lah. We assume in this analysis, we assume that IA is lagging power factor. That's why IA lag EF. If leading power factor, you will be on the top here lah. But in this analysis, we just say that our system, our load is inductive lah. Then that's why current IA lagging EF by this angle. Alright. Okay, now this is the phasor diagram. So we can represent this phasor diagram in terms of the circuit diagram. Okay, the first one IF produce flux F. This come from the rotor side. We inject DC current on the rotor side. This rotor winding, it create flux F. Okay, so flux S generate EF in the stator part. So EF, we know just now, what is EF? Is excitation voltage. And EF plus, based on formula here, EF plus ER, that means EF and ER must be in series lah. EF plus ER must be in series like that, and same polarity, it give you EAR there. ER. So this to represent in terms of circuit diagram. This is in terms of circuit diagram, this in terms of the phasor diagram. Okay. So that first, hopefully you can follow this representation. Okay, now we modify this phasor diagram now. Okay, you can see this one first. Now what I'm going to do now, we take what different, no, this EF as a reference. We redraw the circuit. Now we use EAR as reference. EAR. EAR we know just now is voltage at the stator due to armature reaction. Yeah, this EAR. So you just swing this diagram. You just swing clockwise. You know that the vector rotate anti-clockwise. You pushing anti-clockwise, anti-ER reaching here lah. ER reaching here. Then what happened to the flux arc? Flux must be leading. Flux ER and ER is leading each other lah. Flux arc leading ER by 90 degree. So you can redraw this circuit. Just redraw like that. If you take ER as reference, and then this is a flux arc. So this we just redraw the phasor diagram based on previous phasor diagram. Okay. So this ER here, this vector ER on the left side vector. If you draw the other way around, it becomes negative ER. This vector concept. I hope you can appreciate this. Okay, ER here, so negative ER vector here. Okay. So what you see from here? If you see from here, negative ER ni, vector A negative ER ni leading IA by 90 degree. ER lagging 90 degree, but negative ER leading IA by 90 degree. What is meant by leading? Mean that it represents a voltage across inductor. You got inductor. If you got voltage, you got one inductor there. If IA lag this one, that means it's inductor. Inductor I lagging voltage by 90 degree. That means this represents an inductor. So this voltage represents an inductor lah with respect to IA. So IA lag this voltage. That means we have an inductor there. We have inductor there. So we can rewrite back the equation just now. Okay, this previous equation, ER equal to EAR plus EF. This is our previous example just now. And then, okay, you can remove, you can rearrange this one. You bring EF there, excitation voltage. So excitation voltage here equal to ER minus negative. Yes, where negative R basically is an inductor. You can represent by IAGSR. Okay, so the negative R ni is exactly is an inductor. Is a product between IA and GSR. Okay, same thing. Then what you got to do later? You can redraw. When you have this kind of circuit, we can redraw back the equivalent circuit. Just now we have this circuit here. Here we got this one. This one represented by voltage source. Voltage. Negative represented. This one can be changed by to inductor now, because we know that it's an inductor. Inductor lah peraruh. Inductor. So we draw back, so we can have one inductor there. Okay, remove this one. Okay, this ER there. Okay, can be removed and can be changed by an inductor. Inductor there, represented by GSR. Okay, that means IA is inductor, GSR equal to ER there. Understand? So EF equal to, now EF equal to ER plus this inductor. Voltage drop there lah, voltage drop there. Voltage drop here, which is IA multiplied by GSR plus ER give equal to excitation voltage. Okay, and then after that you can include back the component of the leakage inductance just now, which is XAL there. This is represented by leakage inductance that we shown you previously, and this become EA lah. Alright, and then after that we just put one more device which is RA, which represent the resistance of the stator winding. And this represents the total thing in the induction machine now. You got EF, excitation voltage. We got this one, this ER. We got leakage impedance, EA, and you got the RA, you got V terminal. This is the V terminal of your machine. And this one can be simplified now. Okay, X can be add together, can be plus together, and RA can be put their own way lah. So we can represent this one. Okay, so XS basically is combination of these two inductance. Inductance between leakage inductance and armature reaction inductance give you the synchronous inductance. Okay, or synchronous reactance. Inductance stands for Z, right? For X we call it reactance. So XS equal to SCR plus CF, and we can combine these two. Okay, and this one become XS lah. Become XS. XS is RA. Then it's complete our circuit now. Okay. Missing. I must put this is a GSL lah. This is a GSS, the IA. This is our circuit for the synchronous machine. So now you have everything already. You have everything now. That means from the complex circuit for the machine, we just have simple like that lah. I mean, we got source there, excitation voltage, armature current, synchronous reactance, GXS, and RA. Then this is your V terminal, where we connect this one to the grid system. VT represent the voltage across the grid lah. When you connect your machine to the grid, so the grid voltage represented by the V terminals. And the RA and S represent the impedance of the synchronous machine. And EF represent the voltage induced by the flux F, by the current. When we draw the current there, it will create voltage here. So this voltage we call it excitation voltage. This is a terminal voltage where we connect our machine to the grid system. And this is the impedance of the machine there lah. You call it the synchronous impedance. Okay, the simple. So in the synchronous machine, we have this kind of circuit only. So you can see very easy for us to solve the problem. It's not. It is even simpler than the induction motor. Induction motor, you got the series parallel circuit, right? You got like IEEE circuit, which is a little bit complex compared to this machine. So you can see that's why this synchronous generator also one of the thing that you can focus lah in your test and exam, which is with respect to circuit diagram, much simpler than the induction motor, because it's like source, impedance. That's it. Okay. Then depend lah what kind of load it drive and so on. You need to see the example later on lah what you got to do. So this synchronous generator, so we got EF, IA flow. So if we see this diagram already, you can write down the equation now. Equation with Kirchhoff law lah, using Kirchhoff law. EF or equal to EF angle delta ni. Delta stand for the power angle lah. EF angle delta equal to V terminal, reference kita V terminal plus drop here lah. Drop across XS, which is IA GSS, plus drop across RA, IA RA. So that's it. Okay. Delta is, you call it the power angle lah. Okay, this equation for the synchronous generator. And then we can plot the phasor diagram for the synchronous generator. So we just take V terminal as a reference. Reference means V terminal angle 0 lah. We say that the current is lagging now. The current is lagging for factor. So we got IA here. IA here, that meaning that IA lag VT by theta. Then V terminal plus IA RA. So you got IA RA must be in same direction like that. And then this your phasor diagram for the generator. Okay, simple, right? Where delta is power angle and theta is power factor. The cosine theta is the power factor of the machine. Don't get confused. The power factor ni, theta ni represent by the current. The current, whether the current lagging or leading, represent by theta. Delta ni represent by the EF. You need to check carefully lah whether they give you delta or they give you theta. If they give you delta, that means the angle between, delta is the angle between EF and V terminals. And for the generator, delta always positive. For the generator, for the synchronous generator, delta is always positive. Whether the current lagging or leading or in phase or whatever current lagging current or leading current or in phase current, the delta must be positive. Okay, you must know that lah. And then we go to the I show extra phasor. I show extra phasor there. What's mean extra phasor? Can open there. Maybe it takes some time. Come on. 1 minute now. What happened now? I cannot click that one. It's extra phasor. Okay. Extra phasor mean I just put extra knowledge for you lah. So for example, if generator driving unity power factor, that means like that lah. If generator driving unity power factor, that means IA in phase with the V terminal. So you have to draw like that. So IA must be in phase with terminal, and then IARA in phase same direction with IA, and then IAXX, and then you got the E there. Okay, this the power factor represent the unity power factor. This is your delta. So delta still positive. Okay, this IARA, IAXX, this is IAZX lah. You can directly multiply by ZS or one by one lah. Okay, so if we derive the unity power factor, the angle like that. Okay, this is the first one. The second one, if the lagging power factor just now you see in the slide just now, is lagging power factor. So where IA lag V by theta degree, we have this kind of phasor diagram. Still delta still positive. Delta, the power angle still positive. And the third position when leading power factor. Leading power factor mean the IA lead V. IA lead V by theta degree. So here lah. For example, this is V, this is IA. I now lead by theta degree. And then you can do the same thing lah. IARA, IAJXS, and you got this EE. Still, delta is positive. So this is meaning by the generator. When we talk about synchronous generator, the power angle always, it must be positive. It must be positive. If you see, if you got the negative angle, your plot is negative, something wrong with that lah. Okay, I hope this is very clear for you. Okay, now we go to the synchronous motor. What is the difference between synchronous motor and synchronous generator? We have same circuit diagram, but because of the motor, the supply is coming from the V terminal now. V terminal is our supply, and it will drive the motor shaft. That means the current must be reversed now. The current must be reversed. IA instead of coming from EF like that, coming from the V terminal. You can see the difference between synchronous motor and synchronous generator. Okay, so for the synchronous motor, IA moving from V terminal, supplies V terminal, IA goes to the EF like that. So what is the equation for this circuit now? Similar lah. So V terminal, because this is source V terminal equal to IARA plus IAJS plus EF. So EF equal to V terminal minus. And excitation voltage equal to VF minus V terminal minus IARA minus IS. And you can draw the phasor diagram based on this equation. We use the V terminal as reference. Angle 0 lah. So, and we say that IA is lagging power factor, lagging degree lah. IA lag V terminal by 30 degree. And because this is minus, minus mean the vector of IA must be reverse. This way lah, reverse. Reverse. IA must be reverse, and IS also reverse like that, and you got the EF now. You can see the difference now. Why is different like delta? Delta is negative. That means EF lagging V terminal now. Previously in the generator, EF leading, but in the motor EF lagging. That's why the delta is ke bawah lah. Become down there. That means, but that's why you call it the negative power angle. Alright. For the motor, doesn't matter lah whether your IA is a lagging or leading of in phase. The delta is always negative power angle. clear. So hopefully it clear for you lah. You need to check carefully lah whether it's generator or motor.